And kind of with the same thing, you did kind of almost like a life after death type of thing with Pimp C.
Yeah.
What was your relationship like with the Pimp?
Man, Pimp was like my partner, man. You know, me and Pimp was the type of dude that he can ring me at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm answering the phone.
Yeah.
And we would just have an intellectual conversation about music and different shit like that. It was always uplifting for me,
Oh,
you know,
so
talking to him. And the same thing for him when he seen how I was able to maneuver around and make my money and the things that I had. Even when he first came to my crib, he's like, "Damn, man, I didn't know you was even doing it like this." I was like, "Yeah, man, I made a bunch of money at Rap a Lot." And, you know, he was like wanting to understand the process of my process of how I was making this money.
got you.
So we used to talk all the time about that. And then, you know, when I got the opportunity to work on this last album that we put out, you know, it was a sweet and bitter type of situation, man. Even just listening to him and he's rapping and I'm working with these vocals and I'm hearing him breathing and
Yeah.
laughing in the background. It's kind of like he was there for a moment, you know what I mean? So it was kind of tough.
I know you gotta, to being the character that the Pimp was, man, you gotta give me one Pimp story, man.
I mean, there's several. You know what I mean? One that stand out to me is when he did the Big Pimpin record, how funny it was to see him rap and rave about how he didn't like this beat. But one that struck me that it was when we first kind of met and I was doing this Two Real record on my homie's record for Scarface. And Scarface had him come in the studio and I had my guitar. It was a guitar player named Joe Bythewood, JB. Money is what we called him. And we was in the studio, so I started putting this beat together. And I was so unorthodox with my process because I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I just knew how to do the shit. You know what I'm saying? So I started working on this beat, and Pimp C was looking at Face, and he looked back at me, then he looked at Face, and he's like, "Man, what the fuck is this nigga doing?" So Face is like, he said, "Nah, man, just watch it, man. Just watch, and you know, watch how this shit come together." So 5, 10 minutes later, the beat came together. And, you know, I mean, he started writing to it, different shit like that after the session was over. We talked and he pulled me aside. He's like, "Man, you a bad motherfucker, man." I said, "You a bad motherfucker, bro." He's like, "Man, you know, we definitely gonna work and blah, blah, blah and all of this kind of shit." And so, you know, we stayed in contact with each other and, you know, we was authentic friends. It wasn't just about music with me talking to him. You know, we talked about music all the time, but it wasn't about me, "Man, let me get a track on your album. Let me do this, let me do that." It was never about that kind of shit. But, you know, I think what he really admired about me too is that when he was in jail, I sampled a whole bunch of his shit and I kept his name out there. I kept him hot out there. You know what I mean? I kept people listening to him. You know what I mean? If it was a song I did with Paul Wall or a sample I did with Lil Kiki or if I sampled some shit with him on Slim Thug shit, all them niggas was hot. So every nigga that I fucked with, I was making sure that they had a Pimp C sample somewhere in one of their records. You know what I'm saying? And I think he admired that shit. Well, I know he did because he told me when he had first got out of jail and I seen him, he's like, "Man, I thank you for keeping my name alive like that." You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even intentionally that I was doing it, to do that. It was that I loved his music and I loved the shit that he was doing. So, you know, I wanted to keep that shit in my music. You know what I'm saying? It was a heavy influence in my music. So I wanted to make sure that I used that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.